And so he was telling us about it, and we were here for some business meetings. So we just wanted to come see what it was about. Thank you.
Thanks.
Hi, everyone. To be continued, but right now I wanted to introduce Jody Manzella from After School All Stars. So she'll soon be at the podium with Katie. Surprise.
Welcome. Any more? Visit. Okay, back this way. Make our way across the room. Ed.
Yes, hello. This is a guest of the Rotary today. This is Larry Goldstein, a businessman that's been here a long time. Larry?
Thank you, Ed. A long time. I'm Larry Goldstein, and I'm a business broker with First Choice Business Brokers. Thank you.
Welcome. Carolyn.
Hi, my guest today is Todd Harbuck. He's a longtime Las Vegan, and he's the founder of American Relief Funding. Yes, they help people that need it the most.
Great.
And back here. Okay.
Hello, everyone. Today I brought my husband, Pedro Zavala, to be my guest.
Welcome, Pedro.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Last call.
Do we have guests of Rotary? Oh,
One more guest, it looks like.
okay. And then we have guests of the club.
I'll start. So Suzette Wheeler is with us. She's a commercial broker. She's an author, and she is very involved in Junior League, and she's very happy to join us for her second meeting at the club.
Hello, everyone. We also have Leslie Owen here with us today. She was a guest of John Pally first, and this is her second visit as a guest of the club. And she loves to hike. So, all right.
Welcome.
Do we have guests of the club? Or did we already introduce them, I think?
I think we've got them.
Okay. Announcements. Jim Tucker.
Mr. Tucker.
He's busy taking pictures.
Hey guys, we're not done selling ads in the wheel. So if you would like to buy a $400 ad for a year, that's about $4 a week. Please, if you have a business, you can advertise in the wheel, and you also, we're just about ready to put out the roster. You can buy the tabs for a good price. So please take a look.
Okay, thanks, Jim.
Thanks. Is John Pally here?
Right
Yes,
behind.
good. You're going to talk about sponsorships?
Yes, that's exactly what I want to do.
You got your mouth full? Sorry.
Yeah, sponsorships. All right, almost there. I thought you were going to let me, I wanted to auction off those tickets.
I
You
have
got
that right
on there
here
too?
as well,
Okay,
yes.
cool. So I don't remember what I was going to say about sponsorships, except I know we got a new sponsor. Can you throw up the Centennial Bash slides? And if anyone wants to go to the Smith Center tonight, think about that, because that's coming in a minute. 2 tickets. Okay, so while that's coming up, we have some great sponsorship opportunities. You should have seen it in emails. We can pass those out to you. Do we get those today? Not yet. Okay. But we will have them in paper form, and you can ask me. Basically, it's going to be at the Centennial Bash April 1st. Some VIP seating options, VIP party beforehand, advertising opportunities in the program that will be given out that night to hundreds of people. And that's the ad sizes we have in the program. So just a modest price. You can give your congratulations to the club, or maybe someone that would want to put an ad or get a table. We still have the big Paul Harris sponsor. That is the #1 highest level sponsor. That's just some of the other branding opportunities we have. So some opportunities for one person to pick some of those. And that's going to be for visiting Rotary clubs. And I think the next slide says who we can thank, which is so important. So yeah, Tom Thomas, Dan Anderson, Russ Swain, And I thought we had one more, but yeah. Jim Hunt? Was it Jim Hunt? Well, we can say 2,500 to Jim Hunt. I mean, I don't remember him saying that, but it sounds good. I'd go with that.
Moving right along.
Oh, it's Jim Cole. It was Jim Cole. It was. Oh, okay. Do we have a price on that? Oh, well, that's right. Thank you for that reminder, Mike. We're looking for the sponsor for the Save the Date cards. That's going to be an opportunity. That's going out real soon. And that's going to be an opportunity to be branded and something that will be going out to all the club very soon. Okay, sorry. So can I auction those tickets really fast? 2 tickets tonight. I don't remember the name of the show. Jagged Little Pill. That's it. 2 tickets, really good seats. Row M, center orchestra, right in the middle. I think they're 130 face value each. Money goes to the foundation. So does anyone want to go tonight? Jagged Little Pill. I've heard it's incredible. Not really. I don't know anything about it, but I have these tickets. Well, I don't want them to go to total waste. So come on, someone give something. No one wants to go to the show? All right. There you go. All right. That's it. That's all I got.
Thank you. Okay. Barbara Castro, the 25 Club, you have a wrap up from the meeting? Quickly.
Why do you guys always tell me quickly? Do I talk too long? Anyways, we had a great social last week. We had a little happy hour at the Tavern Flamingo. We raised a lot of money for the food can drive. I believe the total was $260. So it was a good amount. Thank you for all coming. And we'll be having another social next month. I will let you know when I have the details on that. Thank you for all coming last week, and that's it.
Okay. Would you give the microphone to Jamie, please?
Hi, everyone. I'm Jamie Goldsmith. I'm the president of Southern Nevada SOAR, where we honor our outstanding first responders in Southern Nevada. Our ceremony is this Monday morning. We start at 8 a.m. with a networking breakfast. And then at 8:30, we have the Department of Public Safety and Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department presenting the colors. Unfortunately, Dina Titus had to go to Washington, but we do have Mayor Goodman. She will be there, and so will Attorney General Ford. So please come out. The event is free and open to the public.
Thanks, Jamie. Ginger and Jim Hunt, you
Where's
can
Ginger?
do a
Right there.
duet. She's right here at the head table.
All right. Good afternoon, everybody. So 2 weeks from tonight, we have a rockin' party to go to. The Bronx Wanderers are performing to benefit Santa Claus. So they have set aside seats for us. They are in a section, VIP section, $100 a piece. Normally we get them for $65, and $20 of that comes back to Santa Claus. So let's go out and let's have a lot of fun on September 22nd, raise money for Santa Claus. And if you will sign up in the Green Book today, that would be awesome, because I need to get a preliminary count in so we can lock down some tickets.
Ginger? I went last night, actually. It was a lot of fun. It's a fun show. My daughter's boyfriend, Vinny, is very talented, and they got the whole show, not just what we saw on our holiday party.
Cool. Is David Squire here? Okay, we have a highway cleanup on September 17th at 8 a.m. and we're meeting at the entrance to Bonnie Springs. And there will be brunch at Jerry Senes's house afterwards. So there's a sign up by the front door for that as well. Greg, I don't know if Bill Steeren is here. You want to do the announcement for?
There he is.
Okay, there he is.
How does Bill do?
How do you do, Rotarians? As usual, we got a deal for you. You may recall, September 27, we have a private tour of the Nevada Nellis Air Force Base. We've had a lot of people sign up, I understand. But I also understand we don't have the data in to get your clearances yet. Today is kind of like the last day to be assured that they'll have the security check done so you can get in. So today, get into Sean, your name, your address, your date of birth, social security number, driver's license number, and state of your driver's license. We're going to see the T-Birds. We're going to see the Rapid School. We're going to see the Security Forces Squadron Dog Kennels and the 66th Rescue Squadron. This is from 9 o'clock till 2 o'clock. We'll meet at the front gate. And I assure you, you will see something you have not seen before.
It sounds amazing.
Thank you,
I
Bill.
wish I could go. Rosalie, the
Rosalie.
tour on October 6th.
Wow, wasn't prepared, but here we go.
Sorry.
So on the 20th of October, 3:45, we are meeting at the LVCVA. We will have a tour of the West Conference Center. We will also be doing the tunnel where the Teslas go through. And following that event, we're going to meet at the Pepper Mill for a happy hour, which you can come buy your own drinks, and some beverage or foods will be provided by them. The cost will be $25, and the proceeds are going to the canned food drive. See y'all there.
Thank you, Rosalie.
Karen Wizenhunt,
Karen.
right there.
I'll keep this brief. The golf putting tournament is fast approaching October 6th. We are looking for players, so if you haven't signed up, please sign up soon in the Green Book. Thank you, Katie.
Where is that green book? Is it making its way around this week? I hope. Anybody have the
We
green book?
actually have sign-up sheets at the front desk.
Oh, okay. So we have sign-up sheets at the front desk, but also the green book because we have had a little bit of delay getting that around the last couple of weeks. So make sure you seek out what you want to sign up for so you don't miss out.
And there are so many opportunities in the Green Book. I counted 16 the other day. We have the Discovery. Stu, are you on? Can you talk about the Discovery opportunity?
I can if you can hear me. Can you hear me?
No volume. Kirk, do we get any volume for Stu?
Hello? I am here.
Sorry, we can't hear you.
Yeah. Oh, I'm talking.
Okay.
Talking 1, 2, 3. Hello. Testing 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me? Testing 1, 2, 3. One way.
Let me just go ahead and say we have a volunteer opportunity at the Discovery Children's Museum. And
Hello? No, guess not. No, I can't hear you guys.
Yeah. 8th grade, excuse me. And it's up in Big Bear area. It's really cool up there. 6 years ago, we woke up on a Saturday morning and it was 4 inches of snow. So come up and enjoy.
So we're really happy to have that back in person and Ryla as well. Renee, do you want to talk about Ryla really quickly?
Okay.
Ryla is the well, sort of close to the exact same thing, except for 10th graders and 11th graders, and it will be in person again in March. I think the dates are 23rd, 24th, and 25th. Same location, same just life-changing experience for these kids.
Thanks, Renee.
If you've never been a facilitator for Riley, you should sign up for that too. It's really
It's an
great experience.
amazing experience. Yes, I was just going to call on you anyway.
For both Ryla and TLC, you need to have the youth protection training, the sign-up sheet.
As the book, Breakfast with Books. It'll be in September the 13th. And we have a few people signed up already, but you can sign up, as they said, in the front of the room rather than in the Green Book. Come and join us, especially you new Rotarians. You will love it. We will give you a job to do that's very easy. I hope to see you all there. And our times to come is about 7:15 in the morning because the program begins at 7:45. Thank you.
Marie, don't go away. We're also back with Books and Buddies, correct?
Yes, but that's Tony's ball game.
That's why she had the microphone.
She does
That's
Books and
okay.
Buddies.
It's a good thing they changed the name so we don't get it confused anymore.
Books and Buddies is a mentor program that requires a couple-hour training with Spread the Word Nevada and then assignment out to a school. There are now, instead of 6 mentor centers, we have 10 mentor centers from which to choose. However, our adopted school is Beckley, so that's the preferred. Most of the reading time is at 9 or 8:30 in the morning, so we're back to morning schedules. Come see me so I can talk to you and explain to you some more of the details. I will have handouts next week, but it would be great to have the Rotary members go back into the mentor program. It's great and it's very rewarding.
Thank you.
Okay. Is Rose there?
Rose is right here.
Rose is collecting candy.
Okay. Good afternoon, Rotarians and guests. And again, we are going to be collecting candy or monetary donations for Halloween candy for our schools. And some of them are represented here today. So it's in the Green Book. If you're going to be donating, you can check off cash or charge your account. And if you're bringing candy, please bring it in, leave it at the table up here, and we will store it until Halloween. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Rose.
Rosalie, would you come up, please? Yes. And Jody. We have a check to present for the all. After School All-Stars, excuse me.
Hello, everyone. So our tour that we did at Virgin Hotel with Richard Bosworth, we decided in his name to make a donation to a charity of his choice, which was After School All-Stars. So Jody Manzella is here today to accept that check, and we're very excited to give this to her. So everyone, please help me congratulate.
Thank you, everybody. I am honored to be here, accept this check on behalf of, we call him Boz. He is on our board of directors. We are so thankful to have this donation. And what we will use it for is for our programs. After School All-Stars provides a free comprehensive after-school program to at-risk youth. We partner with 31 schools, elementary and middle schools, inside of CCSD. They are all Title I. We provide our programs directly at the schools that the students go to during the day. So they don't have to travel anywhere. We provide them academic support, enrichment support, and all sorts of great things in between. So we have waiting lists of students to get into our program. And the more resources we can identify, the more students we can help. So this will go a tremendous way for our students. Thank you so much to all of the Rotarians.
Marie, would you like to introduce the school principals? Marie? Really good at getting people with full mouths.
Thank you. Well, I think I'll start with someone that is kind of famous here. I'll start with Shannon Brown, and she's from Beckley Elementary School, and we have 2 other schools which we will introduce also.
What up, my Rotary peeps? It's good to start another year with all of you guys. As you heard, Breakfast with Books is a thing. It is back, and we are wanting to see every single one of your adorable little faces. Michael, wherever you are, you just had the microphone, my friend. If I don't see your cute little face there, you're in trouble. Go into the principal's office, friend. It's not fun in there sometimes. And then, just like Tony also said, Books and Buddies is an absolutely amazing program where you can sit with some of our kiddos at Beckley. You can read and tutor them and see how awesome it is for you just to sit and read with kids and how much they grow just from that opportunity. So please get back there and sign up. Breakfast with Books is on Tuesday of next week. It will be starting early, 7:45, because we got to make sure the kids are ready to start school. And then also Books and Buddies, please make sure that you sign up. I'd love to see all your faces there. Love my Rotary peeps.
I'm Gwen Hall, and I'm the liaison with Laura Deering, and it's my pleasure to introduce the principal, Katie Pellegrino, and then she'll introduce her special staff.
Hello, Katie Pellegrino from Deering. We appreciate everything the Rotary Club has done. We've received a grant. We're hoping to get Breakfast and Books coming and back up and running. We've done After School All-Stars, tree donations. You guys have been a great support for Deering Elementary School in the time that we've been together. Oh, and then I brought with me is Scott Barney. He's my PE teacher. We're short-staffed. This man does everything all alone, no aid, no support, and he's just kids. Everybody knows him from years. He's been there 20-some years in the school.
And I'm representing Kawana McCall, and Amanda Lush, the principal, is here today.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks so much for having us back this year. And the support from the Las Vegas Rotary just means so much to all of the schools that you guys support every year. Thank you, thank you, thank you for coming back to us year after year and all that you do throughout the Valley. So thank you so much. Mwah.
And
Thank
thank you all for taking time out of your classrooms to come and be with us. I'd like to take a moment and introduce the head table. Our speaker today, John Smith, will be more fully introduced in just a moment. We have Greg McGuire, our speaker chairman, Dan Adamson, Ginger Anderson, and Ryan Hamilton. And I'd like to thank all the people that make this meeting possible. Kathy Mahan for being here every week to set up. Narragansett and David Jones helped us as greeters, and Jerry Brown was there as well. Marie Walsh and Jamie did ticket sales today. Our scribe is Nancy Anderson. Jim Tucker, our photographer. Antoinette Monroe, our AV team today. And cleanup Christine Luby and Kate Zavala. Thank you all. I'm going to have just a few minutes for fellowship, and then we'll introduce the speaker. Thank you.
President Katie, do you have time for one quick announcement or request here from?
Yes.
I'm very pleased to announce that we now have a sponsor, co-sponsors for the Save the Date cards. Greg McGuire and Kathy Mahone are going to share the Save the Date cards. Thank you very much. Fantastic Rotarians.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you. Tina wanted to make an announcement today as well. And since we have a couple of extra minutes, let's do that.
I just wanted to let everybody know that the Centennial Committee has been working away. And we just sent off to the publisher photographs so that we will have a coffee table book for the last 100 years that will be available for purchase by Christmas time. So wanted everybody to know that. And then we're also working on a commemorative coin. So more to come, but we're on deadline. Thank you, Jackie Thornhill.
Thank you. Jackie has worked unbelievably hard to get this put together on a really tight deadline. So we appreciate that work. Also, our member Michael Gordon is going to be honored at the Angel Awards by Vegas Inc. That's the event where Rotary was honored last year as the Foundation of the Year. And that will be, I believe, on the 22nd. So keep that in mind if anybody would like to attend that. Since we have just a couple of minutes, what? Mary, go ahead.
So I don't know, some of you do know, but this is going to be my last meeting here at Las Vegas Rotary Club. I'm actually moving to Washington, D.C. And so I just wanted to, whoever I have met, I just wanted to thank you all. And it has been a pleasure being part of this club. Thank you.
I understand that you have a really exciting position there, and we want to hear from you. And you've also promised us tours of the White House, so we won't forget you. Okay. The drawing for the pot.
And I've
it
been
is-
asked to just make sure we keep the green book moving.
Okay.
If you don't know the date of an event, or look in your wheel in the back and you can put it in your calendar. But when that comes around, please sign up and move it along so everybody gets a chance. Thanks.
Okay, nobody wants to hear about this drawing anyway, so.
No, there's not much
Anything
in the
else?
pot, right?
Right, yeah. I'm sure it's over $8,000.
My
Last
partner.
week, it was $77.86. The deck has gone to this. So somebody is going to draw the joker soon. Half the pot goes to the foundation and half goes to the winner. And I'm sure that Bob Warner and our foundation president will be hot on your heels after that happens. So thank you. The winning ticket to draw for the joker is 843-9932. No way. Let's check this out. All right. There it is. Okay. All right. And the suspense continues. And the ticket for the $50 in Lowry bucks is 8440179. Jamie. There you go. All right. Thank you. Greg, would you like to come up and introduce our speaker, please?
All right, good afternoon, Rotarians. It's my pleasure to introduce our guest speaker today. He's going to talk about the history of the mob in Vegas. That drawing there had nothing to do with the mob or anything like that. You know, it's just coincidence that he pulled my ticket out. But a lot of you may know John L. Smith. He's been here in Vegas more than 4 decades of experience covering Las Vegas, the West, organized crime, the gaming industry, you name it. He's probably written or talked about it. He's married to another writer, Sally Denton, father of an adult daughter, Amelia, and stepfather of 3 sons. He's a member, when I first saw this, I thought it was the new Pinball Association Hall of Fame, but it's the new Press Association Hall of Fame. He's won numerous awards for his writing and reporting. His stories have been covered in a whole number of different wire services, the Daily Beast, the Desert Companion, Nevada Independent, the New York Daily News, Reuters, probably a lot more than this, including Time. He publishes a weekly column in the Nevada Independent and gives weekly commentary for NPR. With that, John, we look forward to your talk today on the mob.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for the invitation to come and address your group. It's a great honor. It's one that I've enjoyed before some years ago, and it's nice to be back. I see some familiar faces in the audience, people I don't see enough of, Brock and Tom and some others. I just wanted to say it's good to see you again. And for folks I don't know, I look forward to talking to you. It's been a tough week for us. And I'm going to read a speech that has nothing to do with why it's such a tough week for journalists in Las Vegas. I could speak for an hour about the dangers of the job that never get in the newspaper or on television, but I won't. Instead, I will read a reminiscence of what it was like to grow up as a kid, a local kid in a Las Vegas that really doesn't exist anymore. But if you squint, some of you actually will remember it. Not naming names, but there's some gray hair in the audience, and others can imagine perhaps what it was like. You know, when a body was discovered in a barrel in Lake Mead some weeks ago, it created a national news buzz, international actually, and the folks in the news media were talking, and of course people in Las Vegas were talking about, was it a mob hit? Because there was a time in Las Vegas when those kinds of things occurred with a certain frequency. People disappeared and, you know, didn't come back from vacation, as it were. But anyway, this is a boy's reminiscence of that time. As a boy growing up in the belching and billowing factory town of Henderson, on a clear night, I could look west and see the distant lights of Las Vegas glittering like all the riches in Aladdin's treasure chest. From my child's vantage point, one bright blue light stood out among the rest and took the shape of a great neon cross. For a Catholic school second grader on the precipice of his first Holy Communion, the symbolism was overwhelming. At a time when I imagined the deities all-seeing eye in the sky, watching my every move like a sweaty palm's little card cheat, and was hopelessly baffled by the concept of the Blessed Trinity, I imagined that far off Las Vegas was a holy place of God and mystery. In time, my innocent perception would change. I would come to realize that the grand blue crucifix emblazoned in my imagination wasn't really a cross at all, but just another gaudy motel sign beckoning strangers in from the dark, which, come to think of it, is a Las Vegas metaphor that a God with a sense of humor might appreciate. I was still a kid when my family moved from Henderson to Las Vegas, where my father bossed a trade union and my mother was a judge's secretary and worked tirelessly inside the local Democratic Party machine. Through them, I was introduced to an eclectic array of characters that qualified as Runyon-esque and then some. They could have been extras from Guys and Dolls. Some of their faces were the kind usually seen on post office walls. In our working class neighborhood, I made friends with many kids whose parents worked in the casinos. Many slept during the day like vampires, behind closed bedroom doors, their windows covered with blackout drapes. I learned quickly that they weren't bloodsuckers, just anchored behind a blackjack table or slinging late night hash in a smoky cafe on the graveyard shift. Those parents and their children too appeared to be steeped in what it meant to be a Las Vegan. It was at that impressionable age that I first heard that Las Vegas, growing at such a rapid clip, wasn't what it used to be. It was, people said, quote, a better place when the mob ran the town. What did it mean? Different things to different people. By the time I was 12, I had my own idea. By then, I'd heard an endless stream of jokes about me, John Smith, having the perfect alias for a motel room check-in. Outsiders couldn't resist asking, do you sleep at the hotels? Through my teenage years, I answered our phone and heard the voices of infamous culinary union leaders, including Al Bramlett, who would be murdered and dumped in the desert. Tough union men and politicians of every stripe checked in to speak to Smitty and Jan. Those were my folks. Some later went to jail, not my folks, the people who called. At least one I knew well disappeared, the suspected victim of Chicago mob hitman Anthony Spilatro. That man's name was Johnny Pappas, who is one of the finalists for The Guy in the Barrel. I don't think that's his body, but if it's not, he disappeared at the same time that the body is said to have been put in the lake. But you know, there were good times too. I'll never forget my first concert, Tony Bennett and the Lennon Sisters at the International, now the Hilton, now something else. I began to think that maybe people were right, that Las Vegas was a pretty good place when the mob ran it. Throughout my long career as a journalist and author, I've heard that refrain repeated again and again, like a sentimental old Sinatra tune. The statement is usually accompanied by a trip down a neon-lighted memory lane and includes a brush with celebrity, or better yet, infamy, thrown in to add to the intrigue. Those who talk that way rarely acknowledge the fact Las Vegas was a deeply segregated place, a racist place, a sexist place for the most of those so-called halcyon years. But love it or hate it, I became to believe that in those days, no one ever thought that their Las Vegas, as they defined it, would change. Not really. Las Vegas wouldn't change. That's understandable in part because of the way Las Vegas had so successfully managed to revise its true history, bury its unseemly past like a crooked croupier in the Mojave Cactus Garden. Las Vegas, a master of disguise, was forever reinventing itself. From the Rackets Commission of Senator Estes Kefauver to the Howard Hughes years and long into the so-called corporate casino era, Las Vegas had been trying to hide its perennial 5 o'clock shadow, the thinly veiled presence of organized crime inside the casino industry. That was the irony lost on all those people who exclaimed that the town was better when the mob ran it. The truth was, for many of those years, the mob still ran it, at least the real estate covered in Greenfeld. Organized crime-related scandals continued well into the 1980s, and the vestiges of the traditional mob element continued to be run into ground until into the new century. But in the front office, they had been replaced by men and even more, sometimes even more ruthless, bottom line business operators immune from giving a sucker an even break. And they had the law, the courts, the police, the elected officials, and much of the press on their side, almost to a person. If you listen to locals long enough, you'll likely still hear someone say the words this weekend. Las Vegas was better when the mob ran the town. As a journalist, I often heard the refrain from locals, connected and not, about how much better Las Vegas was then. It was almost magical. For them, it was a sort of happy shadow land where the vampires only came out on the graveyard shift. It was a one-size-fits-all community conceit. If you think Las Vegas is great now, you should have seen it when the mob ran the town. Remembering when the mob ran the town gave you a certain status only locals and savvy visitors could enjoy. It was almost like a secret code, a wink and a nod to cooler times. It was almost always accompanied by a lament that people going to the strip, steakhouses, and showrooms no longer dressed in suits and gowns. You know, back when the mob ran the town. It was a lie, but a romantic one. Las Vegas was smaller, certainly. And like that Cheers bar, it was a place where it was still possible for everyone to know your name and always be glad you came, especially if you tipped well. But Las Vegas was plagued by its prejudices. When it came to treating people decently, it was no better than Chicago or Cleveland, New York, or Detroit. It was a second chance town for many, but a wise guy paradise for others. It was a community targeted by the IRS for legitimate reasons. Tax avoidance was essentially a community tradition. In case you're wondering, the mob no longer runs Las Vegas, in part because it couldn't compete with the real sharks in the desert, the consummately connected corporate casino operators, whose gifts of manipulation make old Anthony Salerno and Tony Accardo look like carnival rubes. Like America itself, Las Vegas has changed in other ways. It continued to legalize and embrace activities once considered the exclusive purview of the mob. High interest payday and auto loans have become commonplace. They actually charge more juice interest than the typical loan shark. Casino debt collections, not legal in all jurisdictions, are now imprinted in our state law. A high roller who fails to pay a casino debt, he can be arrested here, literally dragged off a commercial jetliner. Prostitution is technically illegal, but you wouldn't know it by frequenting many of the casino bars and lounges. Marijuana is legal. Hold your applause to the end. No, just kidding. And the tendency is toward more relaxed regulations about use and sales. And of course, gaming in all its forms is more pervasive than ever. But perhaps the greatest sign of changing times in America and in Las Vegas is the repeal of the Professional and Amateur Sports Protection Act of 1992. It's called PASPA. It was repealed by the United States Supreme Court in a move that opened the doors to the spread of the last notorious gambling activity in America, sports betting. The mob was a lot like that Blue Cross of my childhood vision. It was easy to imagine, but it was harder to define. I have my own definition, but these days I like to imagine Las Vegas at its best as a land of opportunity for immigrant and local alike, a place that welcomes people of every faith and no faith at all, because after all, when you've monetized the quickie wedding and divorce rackets, who are you to judge? As for the actual mobsters in our midst, and there are plenty of them, no matter how you define them, I suspect they will continue to find ways to make a living in Las Vegas. And why not? After all, they used to run the town. Thank you. What I'd like to do with whatever time we have left is you can throw it open to questions. I know you folks have questions about perhaps what's gone on in recent days or anything else that you'd like to ask. I would like to say, at the risk of being kicked out of the Rotary Club, that my email account is really easy to find online. And if you have anything to talk about with me in private, you're welcome to on any topic at all. Thank you.
First question right here.
Yes.
John, it's great having you.
Thank you, bro.
As it has been in the past.
Thanks so much.
I hope you all enjoyed what you heard John reading here. I don't know how many books you have written, John. I think I own the vast majority of them. One in particular, the one that you wrote about Steve Wynn, and I know that was costly to you, but you prevailed.
Yes, I did.
Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Absolutely. Back in 1995, I published a book called Running Scared that was an investigative biography of Steve Wynn at a time when he was at the top of his game. And I think it was safe to say no one in Las Vegas imagined a Las Vegas without him. I did a deep dive into his background, into his family's history, into his friendships and acquaintances, into his business practices. And I interviewed an awful lot of people, dozens and dozens of people, most of whom were concerned about speaking for attribution. And so I kept their comments. I added them to my notes, but did not identify them by name. The book is based on documents. It's still available after, and this is a point of pride for me, it's available after 27 years, still in print. Books go in and out of print so quickly nowadays. That's to have a little longevity is a nice thing. Anyway, I'm very proud of that book. Thanks for mentioning it. And I don't know what happened to Steve Wynn, but I guess he's not here anymore. That was a joke, not appropriate, I'm sure, but that's why I get invited here so seldom. Just kidding. Anybody else? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so there's thanks for presenting to us today. We really appreciate you.
Thanks.
There's a very recent investigative journalist situation that hits very close to home here.
You bet.
Facts are few and we're really early into it, but maybe you have some insight.
Yeah, I was at the press conference this morning when the sheriff and the homicide unit made some detailed announcements, and obviously Mr. Tellis is in the detention center. He's been charged with open murder. It's a brutal thing, no matter the backstory of it. Jeff was a colleague of mine for 40 plus years. He was a hard charging guy, hard-headed guy, and lived, on the front page for many years with his byline investigations. And so I think, I hope in the name of justice and in the name of clarity for the community, that the details are known and they're known in a reasonable amount of time. What has been published and put on television was, it was basically received a stamp from the sheriff and from the homicide unit. So the reporting has been accurate and hopefully will continue to be so. And it's a loss to the community, whether you liked what he wrote or not, because without, tooting my 10-cent horn, the job is difficult. There are threats are an inherent part of it. And that kind of goes with the turf. But when people cross the line and get physical and worse, it's a terrible thing, because it's important to hold our government to account. It's important to ask questions, and it's the press's job to ask those questions. That's been muddied in recent years, and as the press has been more vilified, some of the criticism is deserved, but in this case, this is a horrible, violent thing that occurred, and I hope I answered that question. Yes, sir, in the back.
Yeah, I've been here since 1967. I'm going to ask you this question, acknowledging the fact that you're right up there from the courageous press point of view. Let me just, one of the myths about Vegas, I remember that you left out, was that we had the most churches per capita than any city in the country, which was blatantly false. I mean, I still had to go to church on Sunday, but so here's my question. I've wanted to ask this, and you have the integrity, I think, to answer it. I mean, don't the journalism schools in this country have some measure of principles or guidelines? Because I see, I mean, everybody knows this, and it doesn't matter if you're conservative, middle of the road, liberal. It seems like the principles of journalism have gone right out the window.
Well, that's an interesting statement. I don't agree with you, but I can say that journalism is a craft. It is practiced seriously by a majority of those who practice it. Some of us are, deadly serious about it because of the subjects that we go after. So there's that. But with that said, I think that the increased exploitation of entertainment and editorial journalism on television, in all forums, no matter your politics, I think that is a withering and can be a debilitating thing for our country. Right. Well, I trust, I appreciate that. And people do have their own views of different news outlets and all of that. I think there are a number of news sources that are reliable. I think the more news sources you consume, the better. And I think it's important to also read things you disagree with, also to read other things. But when people are not factual, it's all about credibility. If it falls short of the mark of fact, if it falls short of the mark of opinion, and you don't like the opinion, that's one thing. If it falls short of the mark factually, it's real easy to discount the credibility of a publication. And I think, I think that's okay. You don't have to glom on to the old hometown news or the national, super source news network if you don't find them factual. And so, and again, it's hard to know what the facts are when there's a storm of misinformation out there. And a lot of it's politically motivated. Some of it's motivated by international politics and not just political parties. So, a lot of people are delighted in the world when Americans are constantly at each other's throats. A lot of folks outside our country. are more than happy to see that happen. So, yes, sir.
John, John, Jerry Engel. I've been here since 1953, and I've enjoyed reading your articles. I wish you'd write more.
Thank you.
Miss them. But one of, and I like how you said Las Vegas has changed. And I wonder of the days when we had a sheriff like Ralph Lamb. And that was quite a story that you could back up. And where was the ACLU when we had someone like Ralph Lamb? You think we'll ever see a sheriff like Ralph Lamb again?
Well, you know, I don't think so. I think he was the sheriff who defined law enforcement for a generation in Las Vegas. And what a lot of folks won't remember is that in addition to his very tough image, very, take no baloney image, Ralph Lamb also helped innovate that department. He actually improved the infrastructure, the first computer systems, things like that. So he also modernized the department, even as he was depicted as a cowboy on horseback and a simple guy who toted a gun and all. There was a certain truth to that. I was born and raised in Nevada, so I know the Lamb family. I mean, there is a certain element there that's very true to the horse culture, but he also was a guy who was an innovator. I think the department and the community has grown so much that it's, I was laughing in private with someone at Metro this morning about how difficult it will be for the next sheriff and the one after that, because the town is so big and growing so quickly and with so many different influences in it that it's a challenge. It'd be a challenge for 10 sheriffs. Yes.
Question. Like you, I have an alias, David Jones, that is all over lots of hotel rooms. Serious question. How does investigative journalists placate the threats, the enemies? Simply, how do you stay alive? I mean, really?
Well, I mean, you obviously pick your spots where you go drinking after dark. That was in the old days. That's where, I mean it. When I broke in, you didn't meet people at, heaven help us all. You didn't meet people at church that you were going to quote in the newspaper. You generally met them out at night, and whether they were police or the other element, that's where I met them. And I ate at a lot of very nice Italian restaurants for about 20 years. But yeah, the threats are part of the job. You kind of have to measure the ones that you get, because you will tend, if you're doing your job, you're going to get enough. You're going to get plenty of them. A lot of them are. There's this great old timer. I won't mention his name, but he was a very tough old Las Vegas guy who was, kind of in the money lending business. And I had been getting some threats, and I was chatting to him about it because he was probably related to someone doing the threatening. And he said, I said, I've been getting these phone calls, and can you tell me about it? And he said, well, all I can tell you, son, is don't worry about the ones who call, worry about the ones who don't. And that's that kind of thing. So you have to measure that. Well, but with that said, and recent circumstances, speaking kind of generally and politely here, people make no secret at times of how mad they are at a journalist. They make no secret at all. They troll, they dox, they'll put someone's private information in the public and air it out, anything to embarrass and slow you down. And, that works for some people, and for some people, it doesn't, Yes,
Hi,
ma'am.
I'm Kathy Mann, and I
Hi.
just had one comment and also a question. One is, actually, I have a feeling in the old days, some of the, connected people were a little more generous to the community, like Mo Dalis funded our Sunday school
Right.
at Temple Nurtamid. And also, I remember when cars used to pull up at Sunrise Hospital and out, brown bags of money would come out.
to help fund the hospital. So I mean, it wasn't all bad.
Oh, of course not. No, it wasn't. And people from all different walks of life, Las Vegas was built on what was considered notorious elsewhere, right? I mean, people came to Nevada, they kind of got a second chance. If they're from the gambling business, they got a second chance. If you want to do it legally and you want to pay taxes and you want to like be a citizen and not look over your shoulder and play, in the back alley, you could come out here. Many friends who I grew up with, their dads were, they were from Steubenville. They were from Wheeling, West Virginia, and all these places that were roaring gambling towns, but it just happened to be illegal. But yeah, you're right. There was a lot of good that came out of it too.
And my question is, why don't we get more good news reported these days?
Yeah.
Maybe there isn't any.
Well, people can no longer argue that bad news sells because newspapers are struggling. But yeah, and that's kind of an age-old question. I think that's why newspapers have different sections for different people. The front page, the local section, they tend to be harder hitting. The sports page tends to be that, although sports is now covered like a business because it's such a big business, especially now we have professional top big league sports in Las Vegas now. And so it's covered at a higher level and the criticism will be higher and all of that. So yeah, it is a challenge, but I hope that you can find, whether it's in the local papers. I don't work at the Review Journal anymore. In fact, I worked at the Sun and the Review Journal for quite a long time, but I don't work there anymore. I think if you look, you can find things to like, but you're right. If you're looking on the front page, you're not going to see a whole lot of good news because it's, life being what it is. Yeah. Okay. We all set?
Anybody else?
Thank you. No? We're good.
When I grew up, if I'd travel someplace, the first question I got asked was, is my mother a showgirl? Do I live in a casino? So that was for real. So I want to thank you so much for being here today. We really enjoyed it. You can come back anytime. And we have a small token for you. We have a Soul Power Award, which is a pair of shoes to a needy child in your name. So thank you. Thank you. We have a short board meeting following this meeting, and we'll meet back in the back corner. And until next week, sadly, the Queen died. So now we have a new king. Yes, we do. So until next week, meeting adjourned.